It's time for the Luke Howard Show. Please welcome Luke Howard. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm here all day. Thank you. You're all so kind. Thank you so much. Morning, everybody. It's Friday the 12th of June. Wow, 12th of June today. Another day, another show. Great way to start your day. Of course, every single day. We have got a really good show today because we're talking to Piers Bloomfield. We're going to be catching up with him just after 10:15, I believe, around about 20 past 10. We'll be talking to him. Got some great stories to talk about as well. We're playing two great songs on the show today as well. And then, of course, it's Saturday tomorrow as well. Today's not Saturday, today's Friday. So we've got great music to start your day, of course. Kickstart your day like we do every single day. And, so sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Also, if you would like to get in touch with the show, 07593 847 105 is the number to text or call. If you do text, I would suggest putting the word talk and your name and where you're from, and then we'll get back to you. Or phone us 07593 847 105, or email us, which is garyjhoward68 at hotmail.com. Or there's another email, and that's 345457 at student.hrc.ac.uk. That's 345457 at student.hrc.ac.uk. Or you can find us on Instagram. It's at the Luke Howard fan page. Love to hear from you on Instagram. Or use the hashtags, hashtag Luke Howard, hashtag Luke Howard Show, hashtag stay at home and listen to the Luke Howard Show. So we're kicking off today then, we're talking about a very special story, and that's about not Captain Tom, but there's a new captain now called Captain Tony. He's been raising 36k for hospital. Now, a boy, would you believe 5, who lost his legs after being abused by his biological parents, has raised £360,000 for the NHS. Inspired by Captain Tom Moore, double amputee Tony Hudgell, he hopped to raise £500 by walking 10 kilometres on a green close to where he lives. He lives in Kings Hill, in Kent, and not Kings Hill Kings Hill in Kent. The Chelsea fan, he supports Chelsea. Dubbed Captain Tony. He supports and walks up to 500 metres a day to raise cash for Evelina London Children's Hospital, where staff, of course, saved his life as a baby. His mum, Paula, 52, said she was blown away by the support for Tony's amazing efforts. So well done to the wonderful Captain Tony. He's another magnificent person. He's raised millions of pounds just by walking up and down a green. And of course, so well done to him. Well done. We'll do a round of applause. There you go. Very good. Well done. So I'm excited about the next story that we're going to be talking about, because next week, on Monday, lots of shops are set to be opening up. Yay! Things are slowly starting to get back to normal. Shops are to reopen on Monday, though, but a pint will have to wait. So shops in our country will be allowed to reopen from Monday next week. The government confirmed the other night that only if they comply with social distancing rules. But Business Secretary Alok Sharma confirmed that plans for non-essential retailers to welcome back customers as the Conservatives continue efforts to repair the coronavirus crisis and hit economy. But it all appears that pubs, bars, restaurants and hairdressers will remain shut until at least July the 4th. Now, this is despite Blunt's beer gardens and could open sooner. But this is the latest step in the careful restarting of our economy and will enable high streets up and down the country to spring back to life. Mr. Sharma has said that enforcement notices can be issued if shops reopen without following the guidance. He also added that many businesses have warned that the rule requiring people to stay 2 metres apart would jeopardise their ability to reopen. So Mr. Sharma and the rule was being kept under review. And when it is safe to do so, They will see whether you can move to shorter distance. He added that we are taking a cautious view of this. I completely understand why businesses will want to have a look at these 2 metre rules. Chief Medical Officer Chris Whitty has previously indicated that he wants the distancing measures to stay in place throughout the pandemic, but pubs and restaurants have warned that they will not be vulnerable if it is not released. Meanwhile, Boris Johnson is set to announce yesterday. It was yesterday. He has announced, though, that zoos and safari parks, of course, and cinemas drive-thrus are going to happen. But he said that they can reopen from Monday next week, but drive-thrus, cinema drive-thrus. But I've never heard of a cinema drive-thru before. What do they mean by cinema drive-thru? Because how are they going to watch a film on a drive-through? Very, very strange, to be honest with you. I've never seen a cinema drive-through in my life, but they're saying that it's all set to be opening up this Monday, June the 15th. The Prime Minister is set to update a nation on the restrictions as he tries to boost as economy while administering COVID-19's rate of transmission. Though I have seen the last night's briefing, I did see it, and he did say that all zoos and that will reopen from Monday next week. Some of them, not all of them, some of them, because I know what you're thinking. All of them? No, some of them. So under pressure from zoos warning that they face an existential threat, Mr. Johnson did say that Downing Street press conference that they can open again next week as long as they can uphold social distancing rules. That's what he said. He also announced that outdoor attractions where people remain in their cars, such as safari parks and drive-in cinemas, will also be back open again next week, and of course the spreading of the disease is lower in the open air. A Downing Street official, though, has of course said this as well, and he also said this is by necessity a careful process, but we will hope the reopening of safari parks and zoos will help provide families with more options to spend time outdoors while supporting the industry caring for these incredible animals. The PM's father, Stanley Johnson, who I know very well, not personally, but I know who he is, has joined calls for zoos to be open as soon as possible after they were ordered to close when the lockdown was imposed. The eating will be a relief of zoos and will be told that their indoor exhibitions must remain shut, and food and beverages outlets are takeaway only, would you believe? So if you do go to a cafe, you can only get a takeaway. I mean, there's some cafes here. I mean, there's cafes in my town that have opened back up again, just for takeaways only. I mean, one of them, the Wellies and Walkies, a really nice cafe, Sarah Allen. She's absolutely brilliant. Well, she's been doing takeaway foods, she's been amazing, and she's kept open the whole time. But she's shut during the cafe, and once this is all over and cafes do reopen back up, she's just going to be doing evening cafes. But I like the idea of the cafes in our town that have been remaining open. There's only one cafe in our town that hasn't been remained open, but Delissimo's with Paul and Antonella. Morning to Paul and Antonella, morning. Their cafe has remained open the whole of the way, so well done to them. So, not all the way, it's only just opened back up last week, which has been very good for them. Okay, holiday bookings now. Let's talk about holiday bookings. They've all been sold in Woolbridge Hopes. So airlines are seeing a surge in bookings at sun-starved Brits. Now, it's almost gamble on being allowed to travel overseas this summer. Most of the world remains off limits to holiday makers from the UK, but ministers are trying their best to negotiate now air bridges with EU nations to allow a quarantine free travel in July. Anyone who does book a holiday overseas and faces 14 days in quarantine on these return to the UK pending a review at the end of the month. But Ryanair boss Michael O'Leary has said that bookings have doubled in a week, with customers banking on a return to normal. Most people in the UK know that the quarantine is completely bonkers, and unless he said that most are gambling, in my view, correctly, that the quarantine has so little credibility. That is, it will be removed before the end of June anyway. But EasyJet has also said that bookings were encouraging, and it now plans to fly at 30% of its normal summer schedule. This will also continue to be evacuated, and there is no doubt that the proposed quarantine measures will be having an impact, spokesman has added that the Quash quarantine group, which represents 500 travel companies, said it had been issued by ministers that travel corridors and would be in place by June the 29th. The industry needs urgent visibility on the timetable for travel to begin again. It said that Portugal is disguising an air corridor to the UK, but a spokesman for Boris Johnson said that work was ongoing. Spain is seeking the EU-wide deal to allow overseas visitors from July the 3rd. Britain's quarantine measures, which came into force on Monday this week, required most arrivals to self-isolate at a specific address for 14 days. But Number 10 has said that there had been a very high level of compliments. Airlines, including BA, British Airways of course, Ryanair and EasyJet, have launched a High Court challenge against the system. Okay, we'll leave that one there. The forgotten children now, so in need of have to go back to class, and the government must think again. And Tory Robert Halfton, who chairs the Commons Education Committee, too many disadvantaged children will not be getting an education, he warned. We would have an epidemic of educational poverty and be damaging the life. This is just an update, by the way, about it all. Chances of hundreds of thousands of young people. Now, Anne Longfield, the Children's Commissar for England, said youngsters have been risked being forgotten, and she told BBC Breakfast, I think it's a huge disappointment for those children who'd expected to go back into school before the summer holidays. And of course it's not going to happen, okay? They're not going to go back before the summer holidays, and I don't think they will. It does mean that the vast majority, probably about 8 million children very likely won't return to the classroom until September this year, or it could be later. They're first of all saying that they will go back, and then they're saying that they won't go back. Okay, I think we'll leave that story there. I think we'll leave that one there, because I want to talk about a lighter story now, because yesterday the Duke of Edinburgh celebrated his 99th birthday. Was it yesterday? No, it wasn't yesterday. It was the day before yesterday, sorry. Wednesday, sorry. I keep getting my days wrong. It's Friday today, isn't it? Yeah, it's Friday. It is Friday. Of course it's Friday. I know it's Friday. Wednesday, would you believe, the Duke of Edinburgh celebrated his 99th birthday with the Queen, of course, and his first public image since he was seen leaving a private hospital on Christmas Eve. The official photo was in front of Windsor Castle and was taken the other week, social distancing, of course, ahead of the birthday the other day. Prince, I knew it was his birthday though, I did know it was his birthday. Prince Philip has been in lockdown with the Queen. She's 94, I can't believe though, the Queen is 94 years old. She looks amazing. She's an amazing lady, our Queen, absolutely amazing. She describes him as her strength and stay. Joe Little, managing editor of Majesty magazine, said it's an opportunity for them in their later years and to reconnect. It is the perfect loyal cocooning, would you believe? Wow, absolutely brilliant. So, happy birthday once again to the Duke of Edinburgh, whose birthday was on Wednesday this week. Happy birthday. And of course, this time next year, he'll be celebrating his 100th birthday. Do you think the Queen will be sending him a 100 card saying, congratulations, you have reached 100, do you think? That's a question to urge over the next year. I hope next year the Queen will give him a little card to say happy 100th birthday, because she does it to all of us, so I'm sure he'll do it to her own husband as well. So, okay, I think we should talk about one more story now, because we've got to talk to Piers Bloomfield in a little bit. But at first, weekly virus deaths is under 20% of total for third time. So, okay, fewer than 1 in the 5 deaths registered in the week ending May the 29th in England and Wales involved coronavirus, and figures have revealed that the number of fatalisations is 1,822 and was the lowest 7-day figure in 8 weeks, and the percentage of deaths blamed on COVID-19 18.5% with the first time. It has dropped below to 20% since lockdown began. There were in total of 9,824 deaths in the week of May the 29th, and a fall from the pre-virus 7 days, but still 1,653 more than would usually be expected to Office for the National Statistics ONS. And said according to the ONS, 51,766 people have now died from COVID-19, for higher than the government's official figure of 40,863. I mean 40,883, with 286 new facilities recorded the other day. Meanwhile, the number of executed deaths in facilities above what is now normally expected in England and Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland between March the 21st and May the 29th was 63,596. And the ONS has said a study by the University of Manchester found 21% of excess deaths in England and Wales by early May were not COVID-19 related. Instead, they were driven by an inability of residents of people to access health services for other health needs. So Britain's test, of course, hashtag the trace system is not fit for purpose. A group of scientists have warned, though, that the 12-strong independent SAGE group, led by former government chief scientific advisor Sir David King, says that COVID-19 will be contained only if 80% of those who have had contact with infected people self-isolate. However, they say that this is impossible under the centralised